7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, Vinny,
Hi, everyone.
I gotta
All right.
tell you, great intro.
Well, there we go, man. We had a rocky start to start out, but I think we'll do a little better this time.
You know, it's from all the times we sit down and have coffee at a real cafe, I'm now having a cup of coffee at home in this can, which we're not sponsored or endorsed by these people, but it is really good coffee.
Oh, nice.
Just throw that out there. So I hope happy Easter to everyone out there.
Yeah,
happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Hopefully you guys had an enjoyable time. Before we get into a market update, you do anything exciting for Easter, David?
I actually hid 90 Easter eggs for my daughter and her little best friend, which was utter mayhem, which was really fun to watch. Like watching little kids do the Easter egg hunt is pretty amazing, especially when you have a 2.5-year-old. It's pretty amazing. Oh, yeah. And you? Anything special?
No, I made a big thing of ham and baked some cookies.
Nice. We also barbecued and smoked stuff all day long, which was kind of nice. Kind of good time.
Nice. Yeah. So, well, let's get into the market. How's the market changed since last time we were on?
So something that people may have heard is the Fed entered the mortgage market to buy what's called mortgage-backed securities. And when they did that stimulus package, it's supposed to be $200 billion worth of that buying. So why is that interesting to you as a consumer? Because when the Fed steps in and buys those mortgage-backed securities, it's directly tied to mortgage rates. So what does that mean? It means that mortgage rates are actually going to get pushed back down from before, how you may have seen that everything raised up and got a lot higher over the past 3 weeks. And a lot of lenders stopped lending money. And even to this day, if you go to certain websites, they're not accepting applications for certain loans. So the Fed stepping in to buy securities really helps the market. And so they started buying more today, which did push mortgage rates down. And then now, once again, you're seeing rates down in the low threes, which before you didn't have that, when everything started melting down. So the rates got lower, which is good for consumers. But at the same time, since me and you did our last update, Vinny, lending has become a little bit harder with more restraints and making people have to have more reserves for their loan and higher FICO scores. So that's kind of not good.
One thing that's I think truly changed in the real estate market is there's actually addendum that was put in place. So before, if a property was taken off the market, you'd have to wait 30 days to put it back on the market again by the same. There's a new change put in place that if a property is withdrawn from the market, then it later canceled, it can go back on the market and just have to wait the full 30 days. Wow. So for some people being out there looking to purchase a property, you might want to just take notice of that. Maybe the property has been on the market for a little while and it was just recently put back on. I know that was that happened back in the day where property off the market for a day and then put it back on the market and it looked like a brand new property. So something to be aware about. Also, too, since last Monday, we've had 494 new properties. Some of them might be taking advantage of taking out the market. But 494 active single families, condos, attached properties with 403 and 444 sold. So what's going on the market is pretty much going off the market. So properties are still selling. Some properties are selling a little less than what they were selling for maybe a couple weeks ago, like we talked about in one of the last market. But properties are still selling. Your agent asking you to sign in a coronavirus addendum. They're going to start asking you to do that. So the document has by the agent and by the buyer. So.
What else I've seen on the lending side is you see more buyers coming out now trying to get pre-approved at the last minute because they all fear that it's going to become a massive housing crash, and everyone thinks it's going to happen, and they're going to want to be able to jump in really fast and buy things. So I'm surprisingly seeing a lot of buyers come out, and that's all they keep telling me is, oh, the market's going to crash really bad, and I want to be ready to buy something. So that's kind of new because I haven't seen that for a long time.
I mean, there's so much uncertainty. What's going on? Just going over all the ideas of what's pending compared to what's sold. I mean, I went to a property on Saturday, and the property had fell out of escrow. I mean, escrows are falling out just for the uncertainty of people's jobs, work. Talking actually, so there was a person I had on my last podcast, Road to Growth, if anyone wants to listen to, about overcoming adversity. And I talked to her about the idea of foreclosures. Once foreclosures actually start happening again, and what's going to happen there, if we're going to see kind of what happened in the 2008, 2007, that kind of time frame. Her big idea, that like it happened last time, they learned their lesson, a lot of these banks. So just be aware that if you're on the lookout for foreclosures to start popping up drastically from a high up individual, she didn't believe so. So just an opinion. You never know what's going to happen. If we all had a crystal ball, we'd all be rich. So.
Oh wow! If I could go back to 2008, I would have bought any house in La Jolla and not even cared.
Yeah,
because it wouldn't matter. The timing, not to mention with the Fed, this is something people may want to really take notice of, is the Fed did make it to where you can't get foreclosed on right now because of the COVID virus, which is kind of unique. So you're not going to have foreclosures, come back around. The other thing with that virus that I don't think me and you touched on this last week, but we're going to start going to e-closings now. So the fact that a notary shows up and signs with you and goes through all these documents, those are going to be days of the past. You're going to probably get 7 pieces of paper to sign for your loan, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
everything else will be digital. It's crazy.
Everything's digital. Everything's going digital. We talked about it before, where they're having appraisals from the street. So sometimes they go inside it. I mean, everything that goes digital is going digital. There's, I was talking to another friend of mine, and he was saying that they were in escrow, the request for repairs that had the seller actually walk through FaceTime, show the repairs were done, instead of allowing the buyer to go to the property and assess it.
Wow.
Just for peace of mind. I mean, that's just kind of right now how everyone's kind of looking at things, to be very careful. So anything that can go virtual is going virtual. I mean, last week I probably had 12 Zoom meetings.
That's a lot. That's a lot of zooming. You're zooming from here, zooming here, zooming everywhere.
Oh, so we got to basically less, like about a minute or so. Any last tidbits you want to give people until our next one?
I would tell you right now, we're actually doing Zoom loan applications, which is unique. So a lot of people that want things explained to them face to face, myself, Vinny, both of us, it's nice to meet with a human and go over everything face to face. You can't do that right now, unfortunately, but you can do the Zoom meetings. The other thing that I think is going to come into play this week a lot is the more the stock market recovers, it's going to be interesting on challenge for interest rates to see if they can maintain staying really low. Do I think they're going to maintain being really low through this whole period? I'm going to go out and give a big statement here. I think so, yes. So don't think you have to rush in to grab a great rate right now. There's going to be good rates for a long time. And as Vinny will probably tell you, there's going to be a lot of good deals that come too. So, you want to choose wisely and move slow.
The best advice I can give anyone is don't focus on the property as an individual. I mean, if there's a great deal to be had now, go after that great deal, not just wait for supposedly all these great deals, because the unknown, we don't know that. Again, if we all had crystal balls, we'd all be rich. Last thing I want to throw out there, Thursday we're doing another virtual tour. We got a lot of excitement on there. So for the channel, if you are home under quarantine and want to see beautiful homes, we're going to probably have 2 beautiful homes out there with some of our teamers and people we know, some other realtors in San Diego.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Well, thank
Under
you
10
guys.
minutes.